In the heart of Umedike, a village wrapped in the arms of ancient trees and whispered legends, lived a girl named Eudora. Her name meant daughter of all, but she belonged to only two, Chief Obinna and Lady Nkem, the wealthiest couple in the region. Their compound was the envy of kings, walls carved with ivory, roofs thatched with golden straw, and guards who bowed even to the birds that flew overhead. Eudora was their only child, born after years of prayers and sacrifices. Her birth was celebrated with 7 days of feasting, and her cradle was lined with silk imported from distant lands. But despite the riches, Eudora grew up humble, her heart as soft as the morning dew. Chief Obinna was a man of honor. His wealth came not from greed, but from wisdom and hard work. He traded in palm oil, cocoa, and rare gemstones. He built schools, fed the poor, and never turned away a beggar. But his brother, Uncle Amobi, saw none of this. All he saw was gold, gold that should have been his. Amobi was the younger brother, born with a bitter heart and a twisted smile. He had tried his hand at business, but his ventures always crumbled like dry yam. He blamed Obinna for his failures, convinced that the gods had favored the wrong son. And so, envy grew in his belly like a serpent, coiling tighter with each passing year. One rainy evening, as thunder rolled across the sky like ancestral drums, Amobi sat in his hut, staring at a portrait of Obinna. His eyes burned with hatred. "He has everything," Amobi hissed. "And I have nothing. But soon, the gods will correct their mistake." He began to plot. Amobi knew that Obinna's heart beat only for Eudora. If anything happened to her, Obinna would crumble. But harming the girl would bring the wrath of the village upon him. So he chose a darker path, one that would make him appear innocent. He visited a dibia, a sorcerer who lived beyond the river, where the trees grew so thick they swallowed the sun. The dibia's hut was made of bones and feathers, and his eyes glowed like fireflies. "I want my brother gone," Amobi said, placing a bag of cowries on the ground. The dibia smiled, revealing teeth stained with kola nut. "Death has a price," he whispered. "And blood demands blood." Amobi nodded. "I will pay. Just make it look like an accident." The dibia chanted into the night, calling on spirits older than the soil. He gave Amobi a charm, a small gourd filled with darkness. "Pour this into his drink," he said. "And the gods will do the rest." Days later, Obinna hosted a feast to celebrate Eudora's admission into the Royal Academy of Wisdom. The entire village came, dressed in their finest wrappers and beads. Drums echoed, dancers twirled, and laughter filled the air. Amobi arrived with a smile stretched too wide. He hugged his brother, kissed Eudora's forehead, and handed Obinna a bottle of palm wine. "For your joy," he said. Obinna, ever trusting, poured the wine into his cup and drank. That night, he fell ill. His skin turned pale, his breath grew shallow, and his voice faded like a dying flame. The village healers tried everything, herbs, chants, even prayers to Amedioha, but nothing worked. 3 days later, Chief Obinna died. The village mourned like never before. Women wailed, men beat their chests, and the skies wept with rain. Eudora stood by her father's grave, her eyes dry but her soul drowning. Lady Nkem, broken by grief, withdrew from the world. And Amobi stepped forward. As the only surviving male of the Obinna lineage, he declared, "I shall manage the properties until Eudora comes of age." The elders, bound by tradition, agreed. Amobi moved into the compound, wore Obinna's robes, and sat on his throne. But he was no chief. He sold the schools, fired the guards, and turned the golden compound into a den of greed. Eudora watched in silence, her heart burning with questions. She knew her father's death was no accident. And she vowed to uncover the truth.